apologies for not being here. When you walked into the store, I was tending to the daily needs. You look familiar. Have you been here before? No, maybe perhaps you just have one of those faces. I don't know, but what can I do for you today? Fragrance, of course. That's why we're here. Tell me, what is it that you're looking for? Okay, something good. Well, we have thousands of fragrances, colognes, perfumes, dating all the way back to the 1800s to, well, just a couple months ago, so bound to have something that you like. Tell me, what does your current fragrance collection look like now? Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh, that's another good one. Okay, well, tell you what, it sounds like you might need to broaden out your collection generally. You have a good start, but maybe you need a little bit more fall fragrances, spring fragrances, summer fragrances. What does that mean? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. You need different fragrances for different seasons. It's just, it's like you wouldn't have popsicles during winter time, and you wouldn't cuddle up by a fire at spring, so, yeah, exactly. So, I'll tell you what, I have a collection right here in front of me, some of my best fragrances. How about I get a couple of these, and you and I can sample them together? What do you think? Fantastic. Well, why don't we start with the spring? After all, we are in spring. Let's just start with the first one that I have here. This is a cologne called Versace Eros. Versace Eros. And Versace Eros is the quintessential, I guess you could say, party fragrance. Beautiful open notes with citrus, and then it kind of develops a little bit into just a wonderful, I guess, unisex, but a little musky, woodsy, but you never lose that sugary sweetness. Here, try. Yeah, oh, well, that's okay. No, you don't have to spray it on yourself, for heaven's sakes. You pass out by the fourth or the fifth cologne that I have you try. No, we have these tester strips. So what you do is you get a fragrance and you spray it on the tester strip. So you go one, just like that. And these tester strips are fully linen. Now you want to shake out the tester strip, because the first time that you try a fragrance, it's going to be all alcohol, right? Fragrances actually have a higher alcohol content than moonshine, even. So, then what are you looking for? So you're looking for something called the top notes. A top note is going to be what hits you straight up in the face the first thing that you smell, and then it's going to develop a little bit, and when it develops, that's going to be the middle notes. So the top notes are going to start going away a little bit, and then you're going to get the middle notes, and then after it's been on there a little bit, then you have these things called base notes. Now, the top notes, the middle notes, and the bottom notes, they're all going to be different. None of them repeat. None of them are the same. So there you go, try that. Yes, Versace Eros. So you can tell it's a party, right? It's fun, it's fragrant, it's floral, but it's also just super playful, super fun. Tell you what, I have a couple more here. Let's try this. Have you heard of this one? This is Bleu de Chanel. And Bleu de Chanel is very, very famous, so I thought you might have heard of it before. Perhaps it's kind of stupid, but one of my favorite features of these kind of colognes is the snap cap. It's magnetized and it'll go right back into place. So Bleu de Chanel is a lovely blues cologne, and a blues cologne is one of those colognes that is made for springs and summers. It's soapy. It's kind of like just getting out of the shower. It usually has some fruit mixed in with some woodsiness, maybe perhaps some bergamot or some citrus. Tell you what, try Bleu de Chanel and let me know what you think. Beautiful. So right off the bat, you get hit with this sweet note of pink pepper, and sort of like a bergamot or like a strong citrus. Now, the top note, so you can smell that. Yeah, the top note doesn't last long. You have the mid notes come in, and then you have a little bit of woodsiness sneak in the back. But it's a beautiful fragrance, especially getting ready for spring and getting ready for summer. Now, this guy, the biggest problem with it, perhaps, is its price point. So, this particular fragrance retails for about $155. Yeah, and honestly, it has trouble with performance, meaning that within a couple of hours, you might have to reapply it. But there's better fragrances out there. You like them? I'm glad. But let me show you some fragrances that have better performance as well. So, this is Myself by Yves Saint Laurent. Now, trust me, I didn't name this. One of the strangest names. This is a brand new release by Yves Saint Laurent, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of this sort of candy Willy Wonka-ish mystique, this joyfulness, this playfulness, but not necessarily a clubbing cologne. It's still fairly mature. That's right, shake the paper. Okay, so right off the bat, you're getting like a super sugary sweet, almost like a perfume. You're getting hit super hard with a very strong fruit note. Then as it sits and it settles, it starts to evolve, but it only has like 5 or 6 notes. So it does not stay on one for too long. Try that. Right. I remember walking into my first fragrance store, smelling this, and having to leave with the bottle again. The biggest problem with these is just the price, $150, but use it sparingly and it'll last you a very, very, very long time. Also, is one of these 21st century cologne bottles that is refillable as well. So, kind of cool. My biggest complaint is that there's no magnetic top. If my biggest complaint about a fragrance is lack of magnet on the cap, is a good fragrance. Okay. I have two more spring fragrances that I think that you might like. And the first one is Sauvage by Dior. It is, yes, Dior. Yeah, Johnny Depp. Yeah, Lenny Kravitz, yeah. Well, Lenny Kravitz is the other one. Adam Levine, yeah. They pay these people so much money, and you know what? It starts off strong because look at this. Magnetic cap. I'm a simple man to please, right? But there's more than just the magnetic cap for this guy. Dior Sauvage comes in 3 different versions, including the Elixir. Right off the top, you get a super sweet hit. It's super soapy, meaning that it kind of smells like a body wash. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of body washes these days, I think, have kind of mimicked fragrances. And one of the first things that you'll be able to smell from modern body washes as well as in modern fragrances is a strong reliance on bergamot. And as it sits, though, it starts to get a little woodsy, a little musky, and is a great scent. Okay, let's do one more spring this last one is Acqua di Gio. Acqua di Gio. Acqua di Gio. Profumo. The pinnacle and possibly the greatest fragrance ever made. There's 3 usually different models of fragrances. There's the eau de toilette, the eau de parfum, and the parfum. This is the boss version of Acqua di Gio, which you've probably heard of before. Now, put it on some paper. Feisty. Oh my gosh, just incredible. So, the top notes, you get these aquatic notes, right? It takes you into spring, it takes you into summer. Then you also have a bit of frankincense, which is just lovely. And then in the bottom is one of my favorite notes, and that is, of course, patchouli. Patchouli, I love patchouli. Try this one. Yeah, it's almost kind of like a licorice, almost. Yeah. Yeah, that's that beautiful frankincense. Yeah, it's developing, right? Oh, it's phenomenal, phenomenal. Now, this fragrance is discontinued, but I can give you this one. It's the last one that I have. And we also have the parfum of Acqua di Gio, which is substantially similar, not the same. I won't lie to you and tell you it's the same, but it's close. It's close. Okay, you know what? We've done a lot of spring fragrances. Let's move on now to some fall fragrances, shall we? Yeah, so contrast with the spring, the fall fragrances is going to be a bit of a mix, indication of the changing of the guard, so to speak. You're going to start getting a little bit more woody notes. You're going to start getting maybe something it's a little bit more boozy, a little bit more liqueur, evening wear sort of things that go well with wool, things that remind you of colder weather and fall and autumn. And I think that I like these particular fragrances the best because I love fall. I love the changing of the leaves. I love Halloween. I love Thanksgiving, and I look forward to it every year. After those holidays pass, I get sad. Let me show you. Okay, so the first one, as you mentioned, the Adam Levine cologne. And this is Why Men Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent. And this already lost because of no magnetic cap. I'm just kidding. So, this is the newest version of Why Men. This is the Eau de Parfum, and this is the intense version. So, very, very concentrated. I remember trying all of these versions not long ago, and this is my favorite by far. Right off the bat, you have much more of a development. You have much more of a richer fragrance. You have not a whole lot of sweetness. It hits you with the musk and the woodsiness and tree branches, you know. Not a whole lot of freshness, which is sort of indicative of moving into the fall months and away from spring. You don't have a lot of freshness, and where some of the spring fragrances may be mistakable for a body wash or shampoo, these fall fragrances usually are not. Beautiful. Last forever as well. But there's actually one that I like probably just as well, and it just came out, and this is the Azaro's The Most Wanted. And this is also an intense version of an eau de parfum. As you can see, the entire bottle is shaped kind of like a revolver cylinder. It's kind of cool. I remember walking into one of our competitors' fragrance stores, of course. I'm not going to go into my own fragrance shop and use all the product. So I remember going into a competitor's fragrance shop and I sprayed so many fragrances, and I walk out always with my favorite, and this particular fragrance beat all of the other ones I tried. This is the most wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. Right off the bat, you're hit with like a super sugary note, almost like a grapefruit, almost like a purple pixie stick. But it matures, and it matures quickly. It matures into a fruitiness, and then you have a little bit of masculinity coming in at the end. It smells super playful, but it also smells revered. It smells like a man's fragrance, unlike Eros, which could go either way. I get a lot of compliments about this particular fragrance. Brand new, of course. Brand new to the market. Alright, let's keep going. Now, we get into some really boozy type of fragrances, and this is the Dolce & Gabbana's The One. Oh, beautiful little cap. Of course, this is plastic. Dolce & Gabbana's The One. My biggest complaint about this guy is that it doesn't last long, and you're gonna understand why that's a complaint in a second, because it is a phenomenal flavor scent profile. Right off the bat, you start getting some of that muskiness, that woodsiness. It is it's a man's fragrance. A little bit of booziness, a little bit of aggressive masculine notes, a little bit soapy, but also distinguishable as well. Honestly, I would probably pick another fragrance just because this one doesn't last a whole lot, but some people try it and they just love it, and I'm not going to talk them out of something they love, right? Okay, next one. This is Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma, the winner of the coolest bottle. I really enjoy this one. Now, I will say we carry a couple other versions as well. We carry the Eau de Toilette and the Born in Roma regular version. This is the Intense, and I don't know why, but this is legit the only version I like. I don't know why, but try this. Try this. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Oh, try this, try this, try this. Yes. Yeah, it's very powdery right when you get off, almost like makeup. It's very, very feminine on the front note. The advertisers for this particular fragrance would call it a clubbing cologne or a clubbing fragrance. I enjoy it because, I don't know, I just really like it. And women really enjoy this as well. I've noticed that the more feminine fragrances, the more women typically like it because, well, there's a reason why colognes are marketed for men and perfumes are marketed for women. Women like certain notes, and this is one of those. It's super playful and super sugary, powdery at the top. Yes, alright. Last one for the fall collection. This is L'Homme by Saint Laurent. Yes, we we carry a lot of Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent. L'homme, l'homme, l'homme. So, this is probably the only loam that I really enjoy. It has a very unique profile. It's sweet, but it's also developed. It's already developed. You can tell it's very well blended. A little bit of woodsiness, a little bit of patchouli, maybe a tiny bit of musk sneaking in there. But also a little bit aquatic as well. It kind of reminds me of something fresh, perhaps a little bit of booziness, and that's why I'm picking up on the alcohol a little bit. Yeah, try that again. Yeah, just a very unique profile, I will say, though. Similar to the one, it does not last or perform very well. It's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah. What's your budget? Okay. Well, I certainly have a couple that'll fit in there, but also we do have some budget-friendly options as well. Versace's blue jeans. People really seem to enjoy this scent profile, and it's made by the same makers as Eros. Beautiful designer fragrance. Yeah, super fresh, super sporty. It's honestly a really good choice. And we currently have it on sale for $15. Versace's blue jeans. And also, while we're on the topic, well, that is a pretty good, fresh, aquatic fragrance. We also have Versace's The Dreamers running a special on Versace's colognes and fragrances this month. The Dreamer is more developed. It's more pensive. It's thought-provoking. It's powdery, almost like potpourri. It has a interesting tobacco note that's kind of hidden, but then also iris is in there, which is a very divisive scent. Some people love iris. Some people do not like iris. Yeah, people who don't have a problem with iris, it's a great choice. Iris is used in a lot of makeup, things like lipstick. So I think a lot of people just say, well, it's a little bit too much like lipstick, I guess. I don't know. But those are really good. Also, once you start building your fragrance out, you're going to start looking into things that maybe not a lot of other people have, that sort of niche colognes. And just to show you what I mean, I have one right here. This is Brioni Intense. And Brioni Intense is a niche scent. It's something that is characterized by notes that people don't usually smell, and because of that, these fragrances are usually fairly divisive. People usually don't like these, which is why you gotta build up to it. An acquired taste, as the saying goes. Yeah, right off the top, it's just like, it's super sweet, super citrusy. It has this weird note, almost like a melon or a grapefruit. It's I told you, it's an acquired fragrance. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but I show you this just to tell you that your fragrance journey will take you highs and lows, places you never thought you would be. And once the fragrance gets hooked into you, you're gonna be looking for those fragrances that stand out. Yes, absolutely. So, what do you think? Absolutely, some great choices. Tell you what, why don't I leave you for a little bit? Play around with these fragrances to see which ones you like and which ones you definitely don't like. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Don't worry, I didn't make them. And if I was the maker of these fragrances, I wouldn't be here. I'd be retired. So, take a look around. Let me know if you have any questions.